them, like their hair, all their hair, like like became long, except that of Biggie. His hair didn't change at all. It was like so all of them, all the boys' hair, like is very long, especially that of Ralph, except Biggie. His hair didn't, get longer. So here we have, yeah, he leaned his spear against the rocking stone and pushed back two handful of hair. We will have to go back and climb the mountain. That's where they saw the beast. The beast won't be there. Like now, the Ralph and Jack had this kind of conversation. Like they try to figure out what they should do. So now here we have, Ralph told them, then we have to go to the mountain top in order to see the beast. And then he told them, no, the beast, like won't be there. The beast won't be there. So what else can we do? The others waiting in the grass saw Jack and Ralph unharmed and broke cover into sunlight. They forgot the beast. Yeah, they were supposed to be like looking for the beast. But when they saw Jack and Ralph without unharmed, like safe, unharmed means safe and protected, like safe. They forgot about the beast. In the excitement of exploration, they swarmed across the bridge and soon were climbing and shouting. Ralph stood now, one hand against an enormous red block, a block large as a mill wheel that had been split off Moe's red block. Yeah, a split off and hung tottering. Somberly, he watched the mountain. He clenched his fist and beat hammer-wise on the red wall at his right. His lips were tightly compressed, and his eyes yearned beneath the fringe of hair. Smoke. He sucked his, bruised fist. Jack, come on. So now they're like, no, when he saw the boys saw Jack and Ralph unharmed, like they were safe, they forgot about like their mission. They forgot about that they were waiting for a beast and they were afraid. And they started exploring the bridge and the island, and they kept shouting and climbing and so on. Ralph became angry because he didn't expect them to do that. And then he remembered the smoke, and then he told Jack, Jack, come on. So it seems that Jack and Ralph now are becoming friends again. But Jack was not there. A knot of boys making a great noise that he hadn't noticed were heaving and pushing at a rock. As he turned, the base cracked and the whole mass toppled into the sea, so that a thunderous bloom of spray leapt halfway up the cliff. Stop it, stop it. So what are they doing? What they were doing here? The boys, what are they doing here? What did they do
They're
here?
making noise
Yeah, what kind of noise?
to Jack.
No, not
A
to Jack.
base cracked. Who?
See,
To
that
the beast.
Jack and others, but mostly speaking others, they were trying to to just to push some rocks in the ocean.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, so they were trying to heaving and pushing at a rock. They wanted to push a very big rock in the ocean. Why?
To make sound so someone in here.
No, they were just excited. There was no
Okay.
reason. Like, I mean, like if they were like using this rock in order to kill a beast, I would say no, yes. But they just, they pushed this rock into the ocean only to make, because they were excited and just they were like they needed to do anything. You see this one? So now Jack says that stop it, stop it. His voice struck silence among them. Smoke, a strange thing happened in his head. Something fluttered there in the front of his mind like a bat's wing, obscuring his idea. Smoke. Now, this is the first time he said smoke. At once, ideas were back, and the anger. He was angry. We want smoke, and you go wasting your time. You roll rocks, like you play with rocks, and you drop them, you push them into the ocean. And Roger shouted, we've got plenty of time. Like Roger said that, why not? We have a lot of time. He said, Ralph shook his head. We will go to the mountain. The clamor broke out. Yeah, they started making noise. Some of the boys wanted to go back to the beach. Some wanted to roll more rocks. The sun was bright and danger had faded with the darkness. Yes, they were afraid and they followed them silently because it was dark. You know, they were like at night. It was dark and they were afraid. That's why they did that. But now it is not dark anymore. So the boys wanted to play. Some of them would like to swim. Some of them would like to go to the beach. Some of them would like to roll rocks into the ocean. So they are not interested in wasting or in chasing any beasts anymore, and they don't feel frightened anymore. You see that the sun, was bright and dangers had faded. Faded means disappeared with darkness. Jack, the beast might be on the other side. You can lead again. You've been, like he said, Jack, the beast could be on the other side of the island. So you can take the lead again. I will just, I will be in the rear. you know. We could go by the shore. There is fruit. He said the boys started to feel hungry. He said, okay, what about we can go to the other side by the shore because we're going to have fruit. Bill came up to Ralph. Why can't we stay here for a bit? That's right. Let's have a fort. There is no food here, said Ralph. Said that, Ralph said that no, we can't stay here. There is no food and no shelter, not much fresh water. This is what make a wizard fort. We can roll rocks right into the bridge. I say we will go on, shouted Ralph furiously. Now Ralph was extremely angry now. He said, I said we can never do. We have to go on, shouted Ralph furiously, angrily. We've got to make certain we have to go now. He said that we are not sure. At night, he knew. At night, everyone will be afraid. And even all the children will speak during their sleep. And young children will start crying. So they would like to be 100% sure that there was no beast. But they are not interested in making sure there was a beast or not. They were more interested in having fun, eating, having fun, rolling rocks, playing on the beach, and so on. So Ralph, that's why Ralph became extremely furious. He said that back to the shelter. I am tired now. Ralph struck the skin off his knuckles. They didn't seem to hurt. I am the chief. I'm chief. You've got to make certain. Can't you see the mountain? There is no signal showing. There may be a ship out there. Are you all off your rockers? He said that, are you all crazy? Like now look at the mountain. There is no fire on the mountain anymore. We need, maybe there's a ship there. So we need smoke. So every time he kept focusing on the idea of smoke. Mutinously, the boys fell silent or muttering. Jack led the way down the rock and across the bridge. So now we have Jack and Bridge. The relationship between Jack and the bridge became better, right? Right?
Yes.
Yes. So now we have three options. Would you like to have grammar? I mean, like a grammar question, or would you like to start chapter 7? We can take part of chapter 7,
Or
would
you like to finish the period, I think.
you'd like to what?
No, I'm kidding.
You're kidding? Yes. So what
I was
would you
saying
like?
if you love to end the period.
If you like, no, just you still have some time. We can have we still have some
Yes.
time. Yeah.
Grammar,
So
I think.
yeah. So we can have grammar. Do you like to have grammar, Lina, Amr? Would you like to have grammar lessons? Like this, it's just less than half an hour. It's less than half an hour.
Teacher, vote.
Vote, yes. Vote in grammar or chapter 7, okay?
Yes,
Grammar
okay.
or chapter 7. Because, like, I know that you have a school, like, with it at the end of this month. That's why I just like to try to finish it as soon as possible so that you can have free time before school. You see my point? This is my point. Yes.
Teacher,
Yes, Amr.
Grammar.
for
Yes,
me,
grammar.
school is going to start in 2 weeks.
School is going to start within 2 weeks?
Yes.
Me 3 weeks.
So 3 weeks, yes. So I think it's better for us to continue chapter 7 then, so that we can have more time. Yes. Chapter 7 is easy. It's easy. Just listen. Chapter 7. It's just 12 chapters. We finished already 6. So okay. So now we have this one. Okay, I will try to finish it. Inshallah, we will try to finish it. We'll finish this one. So we're here. Yes. Okay. Shadows and the tall trees. So this is 7. Yes. Okay. So let's start reading this one. Yeah. So one of you, I'd just like you to read. One of you to read, and the other one to explain. Who likes to read and who likes to explain? Where were we? Yes, here. The big round kept close to the jumble of the rocks that lay down by the water of the other side, and Ralph was content to follow Jack along it. If you could shut your ears to the slow suck down of the sea and boil of the return, if you could forget how dumb and unvisited were the ferny covert on either side, then there was a chance that you might put the beast out of mind and dream for a while. The sun had swung over the vertical, and the afternoon heat was closing in on the island. Ralph passed a message forward to Jack, and when they next came to fruit, the whole party stopped and ate. So what happened here? They were moving, and as you see here, like as they were getting closer and closer, and Ralph couldn't forget about the beast. He says that if you could shut your ears to the slow suck down of the sea and the boil of the return, if you could forget how done and unvisited were the ferny covered on other side, then there was a chance that you might put the beast out of mind. But he couldn't put the beast out of his mind. You know, he couldn't dream. So anyway, it was now it's getting afternoon was the really soon, and it was like hot. And Rolf passed a message, like he sent a message, passed a message forward to Jack. And when they next came to fruits, the whole party means all the boys stopped and ate. Sitting, yes. Who likes to read? Hmm. Lena didn't read. Lena,
Yes,
sitting. Yes, honey. I'd like to read the second paragraph. Sitting.
Steve Ralph was aware of the heat for the first time that day. He
Mhm.
pulled tastefully at his gray shirt and wondered whether he might
Undertake.
undertake the adventure of washing it. Sitting under was what seemed an unusual heat even for this island. Ralph planted his toilet. He would
Toilet. He would like to have a pair of scissors.
and cut this hair. He flunged the
He
mass,
flung the mess back. Yes.
cut his filthy hair right back to half an inch.
Mhm.
He would like to have a proper wallow with soap.
Mhm.
He passed through his tongue experimentally over his teeth and decided that a toothbrush would become in handy too. Then
Mhm.
there were his nails.
So this paragraph is mainly about what? Amr and Ahmed. This paragraph is mainly about what? What Ralph thinking of?
Taking care of himself.
Yeah. Like now he's looking at himself. Like his clothes need to be washed. His teeth needs to be brushed. His hair needs to be cut. You see, he himself need to take like, a shower. So now he was thinking about like, himself, like, like starting that, yeah, I need to cut this hair, like I need to wash my clothes. I need to brush my teeth. I need to take a shower. So he just was thinking about like, like civilized people, how civilized people look like. He doesn't look like a civilized person. Ralph turned his hand over and examined them. They were bitten down to the quick, though he couldn't remember when he had restarted this habit, uh, nor any time when he indulged it. By sucking my thumb next, yes, B, sucking my thumb next. He started to feel like he were bitten down to the quick. Yeah, just it seems that he started to bit himself and so on. So this kind of habit, he didn't have this habit at all, and he didn't remember when he was doing it. He looked round furtively. Apparently, no one had heard, you know. Then he said that next time I will suck my thumb like children. But nobody heard him. The hunter said, stuffing themselves with this easy meal, trying to convince themselves that they got sufficient kick out of bananas and that other olive gray jelly like fruit, with the memory of his sometimes clean self as a standard. Ralph looked them over. They were dirty, not with the spectacular dirt of boys who have fallen into mud or been brought down hard on a rainy day. Not one of them was an obvious subject for a shower, yet hair much too long, tangled here and there, knotted round a dead leaf or a twig, faces cleaned fairly well by the process of eating and sweating, but marked in the less accessible angles with like kind of shadow, clothes worn away, stiff like his own with sweat, put on not for decorum or comfort, but out of custom. The skin of the body scruffy with brine. So now Ralph was looking at himself and was looking at other boys. And what we know now that all boys are dirty, were dirty, their clothes were not clean at all. And like their hair was also their hair was also very long, and they have never faced their faces, despite the fact that they have swimming, they can swim in the ocean and so on, but they never washed their faces. Their faces are cleaned mainly because of eating and sweating. That's it. You see, so even their clothes were not like they were not wearing their clothes because like they love their clothes, but just because it was out of custom, like it was they had to wear clothes. He discovered with a little fall of the heart that these were the condition he took as normal now, and that he didn't mind. Yeah, so now he knew when he looked at them, now this is the condition, this is normal condition, and he couldn't say no. He sighed and pushed away the stalk from which he had stripped the fruit. Already, the hunters were stealing away to do their business in the wood or down by the rock. He turned and looked out to sea. Here on the other side of the island, the view was utterly different. The filmy enchantments of Mirage couldn't endure the cold ocean water, and the horizon was hard, cleaved blue. Ralph wandered down to the rock down here, almost on a level with the sea. You could follow with your eyes the ceaseless, bulging passage of the deep sea waves. They were miles wide, apparently not breakers or the banks ridge or shallow waters. They traveled the length of the island with an air of disregarding it and being set on the other business. They were less a progress than a momentous rise and fall of the whole ocean. Now the sea would suck down, making cascades and waterfalls of retreating water, would sink past the rocks and plaster down the seawood like shining hair. Then pausing, gather and rise with a roar, irresistibly swelling over point and outcrop, climbing the little cliff, sending at last one arm of surf up a gully to end a yard or so from him in fingers of spray. So now here we have Ralph is simply looking around him and describing in detail the settings that he was seeing. So he looked at himself first. He didn't like what he saw. And even he didn't like anything in himself, like his teeth, his hair, his body, his face, his hands. And then he looked at the children. He didn't like them either. Like all of them looked dirty, not kind of dirt, like the extremely dirty. But then he looked at the sea and the ocean and the natural place they were in. And this natural place was like normal and it was like really good. It was really, really good. Like it was rhythmic and it was monotonous. It was, like it was active. It was full of life. It was ceaseless. So wave after wave, Ralph followed the rise and the fall until something of remoteness of the sea numbed his brain. Then gradually, the almost infinite size of this water forced itself on his attention. This was the divider, the barrier. On the other side of the island, swathed as midday was mirage, defended by the shield of the quiet lagoon. One might dream of rescue, but here, faced by the brute, obtuseness of the ocean, the miles of division. One was climbed down, one was helpless, and one was condemned. One was, yes. Yes. So here we said that, in the other side of the island, they were thinking of rescuing, like, to be rescued. They needed someone to rescue them. He said, but here, when you are surrounded by nature, you are not thinking of being rescued. You're not even thinking of rescue anymore. Like you feel helpless, like you feel like you would like to stay in this place. You're like, this place is controlling you because of its nature. Simon was speaking almost in his ear. Ralph found that he had rock painfully gripped in both hands, found his body arched, the muscles of his neck stiff, his mouth strained open. You will get back to where you came from. Simon looked at Ralph. Ralph was looking at this place and he was opening his mouth, and even his body was arcing, arced, and the muscles even of his neck stiffed because he didn't even move his neck to the degree that the muscle of his neck stiffed. And Simon, because Simon was like really gentle person, he knew exactly what Ralph was thinking about. So he told Ralph, "You will get back where you come from." He told him, "Don't be afraid. You will be back to your home. You will be back home." Simon nodded as he spoke. He was kneeling on one knee, looking down from a higher rock, which he held with both hands. His other leg stretched down to Ralph's level. Ralph was puzzled and searched Simon's face for a clue. It is so big. I mean, like now Ralph was affected by what he saw. He said that it is super big. I mean, Simon nodded. Yeah, all the same. You will get back all right. I think so anyway. He said that Simon telling him, promised him. He told him, you know what, Ralph? You will get back. I know that. That's what I think so anyway. Some of the strain had gone from Ralph's body. He glanced at the sea and then smiled bitterly at Simon. Got a ship in your pocket? He said that, you think that I'm going home. So do you have a ship in your pocket? Like you have a ship that you can, like, you can save us, that can save us. Simon grinned, smiled and shook his head. No. How do you know then? When Simon was still silent, Ralph said curtly, you're batty. Like, I mean, you're silly. Simon shook his head violently till the coarse black hair flew backwards and forwards across his face. No, I am not. I just think you will get back all right. So my question is, do you think that Simon was right? And what makes Simon 100% sure that Ralph and only Ralph? I just think you will get back all right. So what will happen to Simon himself? Why didn't he say, I just think we will get back all right? Do you think why he didn't say we and he said I? Do you think what will happen to Simon?
He will die.
Yeah, it's true. Simon will be dead. Simon will die. Yeah, Simon will die. That's why, and he knew that he would die. That's why here he didn't say, I just think we will get back all right. He said, I think you will get back all right. So some people are going to die here, and Simon is one of them. And I'm not going to tell you how did he die, because you will see how he died. So for a moment, nothing more was said, and then they suddenly smiled at each other. Like Simon kept giving him the feeling, don't be afraid. I know that you will be home. You will get back all right, and so on. And here we have like they smiled at each other and so on. So Roger called from the cupboard. Roger called from the cupboard. Yes, honey.
Is Becky going to die?
Yes. Yes. I shouldn't say that, right? I shouldn't tell you.
Because when I watched the film,
Yes.
never mind.
Okay. Yes, Vig is going to die. Simon is going to die. And we will see who else is going to die. So the ground was turned over near the big run, and there were droppings that steamed. Jack bent down to them as though he loved them. Yes. So for sure, Jack loved anything related to hunting. Ralph, we need meat, even if we are hunting the other thing. He said that we need meat, even if we're hunting the other thing, we should hunt. Like Jack is obsessed with hunting. He liked to hunt. Like, once he hunted once, like from the very beginning, once he set his foot on the island, he wanted to hunt. The first two times he couldn't. He felt sad, but the third time he was able to hunt. Or later on he was able to hunt. And once he started hunting, he would like to repeat it again. If you mean going the right way, we will hunt. He said that if you mean we are going to go the right way, to see that beast, we can hunt. They set off again, and the hunter bunched a little by fear of the mentioned by fear of the mentioned beast, while Jack quest ahead. They went more slowly than Ralph had bargained for. Yet in a way he was glad to loiter. Loiter means like, what does loiter mean? I think you took this word in grade 7, I think. Loiter. Did you take this word?
No.
Loiter. Do you know when you walk very slowly? Because you have nothing else to do, so you walk slowly because you still have a lot of time and you don't like to move quickly. Loiter, this one. So people who walk extremely slowly, we call them loiter. Mostly speaking, they waste time because they have nothing else to do and they would like to take more time walking. Cradling his spear, Jack came up against some emergency of his craft, and soon the procession stopped. Procession means this group stopped. Ralph leaned against a tree, and at once the daydreams came swirling up. Jack was in charge of the hunt, and there would be time to get to the mountain. Once following his father from, now we have, Ralph and his father. Now here, Ralph now is thinking about his father. So he says that once following his father from Gantasm to Devonport, they had lived in a cottage on the edge of the moors in the succession of houses that Ralph had known. This one stood out with a particular clarity because after that house, he had been sent away to school. Mommy had still been with them, and Daddy had come home every day. Wild Bunny. So now Ralph had, the boys and Jack are trying to hunt. So Ralph had some time to have this kind of daydream, to think about his previous life, his daddy, his mommy, and his life, his house, the place where he was in, and his school, and so on. So at that time, his mommy was still at home. So it means that his mommy was not at home anymore. And daddy had come home every day. So it seems that his father didn't come home every day right now. I mean, immediately, but at that time, he used to come home every day. Wild bunnies means horses, came to the stone wall at the bottom of the garden, and it had snowed just behind the cottage. There was a sort of shed, and you could lie up there watching the flakes swirl past. You could see the damp spot where each flake died. Then you could mark the first flake that lay down without melting and watch the whole ground turn white. You could go indoor when you were cold and look out of the window, past the bright copper kettle and the plate with the little blue man. So here we have this part describes what? What does describe? This part describes what here? This paragraph. This one, it describes what? Lina Ahmed Amr. This part describes what? It describes what? Is it description of what? Like the island of the place of Ralph when he was young? Hmm.
When Ralph was young,
Yeah, he remembered his school, he remembered his house, he remembered his mother, he remembered his father, he remembered his bunny. As he remembered all his memories of, like, you know, of snow and so on, and what he did when he was cold and so on. So when you went to bed, there was a bowl of cornflakes with sugar and cream, and the box they stood on the shelf by the bed, leaning together with always two or three laid flat on top because he hadn't bothered to put them back properly. They were dog-eared and scratched. There was the bright shining one about Topsy and Mopsy that he never read because it was about two girls. There was the one about the magician, which you read with a kind of tied down terror, skipping page 27 with the awful picture of the spider. There was a book about people who had dug things up, Egyptian things. There was the boy's book of trains, the boy's book of ship. Vividly, they came before him. He could have reached up and touched them, could feel the weight and slow slide with which the mammoth book for boys would come out and slither down. Everything was right, everything was good humored and friendly. Again, we are still in the brain or in the mind of Ralph. Now he's telling us, like, you know, what he did before bed. Like, we know that whenever he went to bed, there was, you know, he had cornflakes and sugar and cream, and he has so many books. And starting from here till the end, we have a detailed description of some of his books. You know, the books that he didn't read, the books that he read, the books that he skipped, and, like, you know, what kind of books did he, like, you know, he cared about, and what kind of books he didn't care that much about. So here we have the, and we know here that he wasn't this kind of organized person. He was not that kind of organized. He didn't put his book properly anyway. Like the bushes crashed ahead of them, boys flung themselves widely from the big track and scrapped. Now we're going to see the boys again. The bushes crashed ahead of them, boys flung themselves widely from the big track and scrabbled in the creepers, screaming. Ralph saw Jack nudged aside and fall. Then there was a creature bounding along the big track towards him with tusks gleaming. Now we have a creature, not the beast, a creature, a big tusk gleaming and intimidating grunt. Ralph found he was able to measure the distance coldly and take aim. With the boar only, boar means big. Boar means big. Like with the big only 5 yards away, he flung the foolish wooden stick that he carried, so it hit the great snout. A snout means nose, and hung there for a moment. The boar's note changed to squeal and it swerved. So it seems Ralph was able to hit the big as well, and it swerved aside into the cover. The big run filled with shouting. Boys again. Jack came running back and poked about in the undergrowth. Through here, but he would do us through here, I said. The boar was floundering away from them. They found another big run parallel to the first, and Jack raced away. Ralph was full of fright and apprehension and pride. So Ralph tried to kill the pig himself because it was easy for him. I mean, like, it was easy for him from his place. But after he tried to kill the pig, how did he feel? How did he feel? He felt he was full of fright, full of apprehension and pride. He was afraid and proud at the same time. You know, like, he proved himself to be strong as Jack. He would be able to hunt. He said, I hate him, the spear struck. Yes. He said that I hate him, the spear stuck in. Now they came unexpectedly to an open space by the sea. Jack cast about on the bare rock and looked anxious. He's gone. I mean, like the big, the poor. I hate him, said Ralph again, and the spear stuck in it in a bit. He felt the need of witness. Yeah, like Ralph said that I hate him. He needed someone to witness that he hates him. Didn't you see me? Maurice nodded. I saw you. Right bang on his snout. Ralph talked on excitedly. I hit him, right, the spear stuck in. I wounded him. He sunned himself in their new respect and felt that hunting was good after all. Like, he felt proud of himself. Even Ralph, he felt proud of himself after he tried to kill the pig. Why? Because, like, this is how people respect you. He saw that they started to respect him again. You see, I wallowed him properly. That was the beast. I think Jack came back. That wasn't the beast. That was a boar. Like, you know, Ralph said that it wasn't the beast. It was just a pig. Boar means big. I hate him. Why didn't you grab him? I tried. Ralph's voice ran up, but a boar Jack flushed suddenly. You said he would do us. What did you want to throw for? Why didn't you wait? He held out his arm. Look, he turned his left forearm for them to all to see. On the outside was a rib, not much, but bloody. Yes, he did that with his tusks. I couldn't get my spear down in time. He said that, I couldn't stop him because like he injured me. Attention focused on Jack. That's a wand, said Simon, and you ought to stock it like what? Beringeria. Like he said that this is a wand and you have to suck it like Beringeria. Jack sucked. I hate him, said Ralph indignantly. I hate him with my spear. I wounded him. He tried for their attention. He was coming along the path. I threw it like this. Robert snarled at him. Ralph entered into the play, and everybody laughed. Presently, they were all gaping at Robert, who made mock rushes. Jack shouted, "Make a ring, like a circle." The circle moved in and round. Robert squealed in mock terror, then in real pain. "Oh, stop it! You're hunting." Yes. So what's happening here? This is the last point, but what's happening here? What's happening here? What are they trying to do? What are they trying to do? What are they trying to do with Maurice? Yes. Were they hunting the pig or were they hunting another boy?
Pig.
No. At the beginning, they were hunting a boar, like the pig, you see, but the pig ran away and they couldn't catch him, you see? And then, like Ralph kept saying, I hate him, and Jack said that, like, no, we should have done better, and so on. And then, like, they kept trying to speak, like, each one of them tried to say that I tried my best, and so on. And then Jack shouted and he said, make a ring. You see, they made a ring. And this ring moved in and round Robert. So Robert was another boy. So they made a ring around Robert and they wanted to hunt Robert. He said, oh, stop it, you're hunting. Like at the beginning, it was mock terror, like he was acting as if he was terrifying. But then it was a real pain. So imagine, like they were trying to hunt Robert. He said that, oh, stop it, you're hunting. The butt end of the spear fell on his back as he blundered among them. Hold him. Like they got his arms and legs, they caught him from his arms and legs. Ralph, carried away by a sudden thick excitement, grabbed Eric's spear and jabbed at Robert with it. Kill him, even Ralph. All at once, Robert was screaming and struggling with the strength of frenzy. Like now, Robert, like he knew that they were out of their mind. They were turning crazy right now, you know? So he started screaming and he was struggling. Jack had him by the hair and brandishing his knife. Behind him was Roger fighting to get close. The chant rose ritually as is the last moment of dance or hunt. Kill the pig, cut his throat, kill the pig, bash him in. Ralph too was fighting to get near, to get a handful of that brown, vulnerable flesh. The desire to squeeze and hunt and hurt was overmastering. Jack's arm came down and the heaving circle sheared and made big dying noises. Then they lay quiet, panting, listening to Robert's frightened snivels. He wiped his face with a dirty arm and made an effort to retrieve his status. Oh, my bum. He rubbed his rump gratefully. Jack rolled over. That was a good game. Was it a good game?
No, he was.
So imagine, yeah, for sure it wasn't a game at all. It was savage, like to deal with a human as if he were a pig or a boar and to try to kill him. Like, like it wasn't a good game. Ralph said, like, just a game. I got really badly hurt at Rogers once. We ought to have a drum, said Maurice. Then we could do it properly. Imagine, like one of them said, you know what? In order to do it properly, we need a drum. Ralph looked at him. How properly? Yes, I don't know. I don't know means I don't know. You want a fire, I think, and a drum, and you keep time to the drum. You want a big, said Roger, like a real hunt. He said that no, like now they were having fun. How this kind of fun? They were trying to kill one of them as a base of fun. Can you imagine that? It is not funny at all. But now they keep thinking, in order to do it properly, we need a drum, we need fire, we need to give some time to the drum, and so on. And or someone like you, he said that, or you want a pig, you need to, in order to do it properly, you need a pig, like a real hunt. And Jack said, or someone pretends. Said Jack, you could get someone to dress up as a pig, and then he could act, pretend to knock me over and all that. You want a real pig, said Robert. Robert said that because Robert was the one who was like, was acting as a pig. Away, like, it was out of his, he didn't desire that, he didn't want that, but he was pushed to act like a pig. He said, still caressing his ram, because you've got to kill him. You've got to kill him. He said that if it wasn't a real pig, you've got to kill him. Use a little one. Oh, he said that, oh, in that case, okay, we can use a little one, little one, like a child, a 6-year-old child, said Jack, and everybody laughed. And everybody laughed. Okay, so here we're going to stop here. I'd just like to see, when this chapter ends. Yeah, so I think next time we can finish chapter 7 and start chapter 8. Because chapter 7 is not that big. We can start chapter 8 next time, inshallah. What do you think? Chapter 8, mostly speaking,
Yes.
mostly speaking, conversation. Like you have a lot of conversation here. So whenever we have conversation, it will be easy for you, inshallah. So next time, if we're good enough, we can finish, inshallah, we can finish chapter 7 and 8. Yes, let's see. Yes, it's mostly, yes, mostly. Yes, here, yeah, this is chapter 9. But chapter 9, a view to this, yes. So here we next time, inshallah, we can finish still here. Simon was inside the mouse, he fell down and lost consciousness, yes. Yes, so I will, inshallah, today I will send you chapter 7 and chapter 8. So you should continue reading chapter 7 and start reading chapter 8. Is it too much? I've just, why? Because I'd like to finish before school. I mean, I don't like, for sure, like, you won't be interested at all to have, like, in having classes during schools, you see? So I just like to finish it before school, inshallah. Okay? So I will send you the 2 chapters. I'd like to continue chapter 7 and read chapter 8. While reading, you can just take your own notes. Like you think that, like which person you like the most and which one you think, like, it will help you focus more. If you like, I can send you even some questions to answer while reading. Would you like me to send you some question to answer while reading to help you understand it? Okay. Then I'll send you some questions so that this question will help you understand this chapter. These both chapters. So if we can finish them, inshallah, I will try my best, Allah, to finish it as soon as possible, inshallah. But here, like this is, inshallah, next time we're going to finish unit 8. So it will be 9, 10, 11, yes, 12 only, inshallah. So here, like, inshallah. So it will be easy, inshallah, for you, inshallah.
Miss,
So
the
I will
boys are
send
really
you
crazy.
again.
The boys are out of their minds.
The voice is out of their minds.
Boys.
Yes, how do they want to kill one of them?
No, they were just having fun. They didn't like to kill one of them. Yeah, for sure they're out of their minds, for sure. Yeah, they didn't mean to kill one of them, but they will kill one of them. Not only one of them, but they will kill. Yeah, it starts as a game, but it is not a game. It is not a game, because like once they started killing, they would love to kill. Like when you play a game, I mean like video game or somehow, and you kill an animal, you feel like you would like to kill another, and so on. Like you feel proud of yourself that you were able to like defeat the beast. So they have the same feelings. They feel vulnerable and they feel weak, and they think that by hurting others and hunting others, they would be empowered. They would